What's up all night, scrambling egg whites? Atlantic City niggas gamble with your life.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I'm your brother, O-God, from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother Sam and Viral Hip Hop News. You're in a building. You could be anywhere else in the world right now, man.
Yeah.
But you're here with your boys exclusively on the official Uncensored Truth Podcast channel. Oh God, what's good, my brother?
What it do? What up, Sam? Man, we here Friday night, and we'll be here every Friday night, so get real cozy. 8 p.m. right here live on the Uncensored Truth official channel. We spent some time building it up for the people, so we're here. You know, we're gonna say goodbye for now to Hip Hop News Uncensored for the live show, but we're happy to be in the building tonight, man. We want to say we appreciate everybody who's gonna listen to this now, later, or even on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're gonna listen to it, man. We're excited just to rap with the people tonight, man. That's all.
It's the night for the people. We're very excited for this evening. We're always excited to come in here on Friday evenings live. Like you said, we're saying goodbye to Hip Hop News Uncensored when it comes to live on the Uncensored Truth Podcast, because we got such a strong thing going on its own. We appreciate it. So we're gonna have the people engaged. You know what I mean? You already know. Go ahead and drop them area codes so we can shout you out in the chat room.
Yeah.
We're gonna ask you some questions. We want some answers, man. Let's vibe. Let's get with the people, man. Let's work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you're coming in, go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure you share the video. Also, go right down into the description box. If you like the music that you're listening to, go to iTunes right now. Go check out my man Riz 609, the Conway song right there. That's in the description box right below us. And you know, we got some other things going on down there as well. If you want to follow some other platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, those links are also available, you know, as well. We had a heck of a week, you know, man. It's been a lot of stories, man. The Jay Prince, you know, story, him coming out, you know, on IG was a big one this week. Always R. Kelly. But the Elvis, you know, the Elvis, a lot of people, I see T.I. and other people now is pretty much gaining steam. Like, when are we going to see surviving Elvis Presley? Because now we have it on record, you know, that Elvis was pretty much ending young women. Whole lot of allegations out there,
right?
And some of it has been confirmed, you know. Obviously, you know, his wife and whatnot, and you know, things of that sort. But we never see too much of that in the media. As a matter of fact, growing up, I never heard about that. We talked about Elvis being, you know, damn near venerated as Jesus in certain places, you know, when you go all over the world. But I never knew about his, you know, relationship with young women. But we see the media going in on guys, and justly so if they did it, you know, R. Kelly and other people. But it seems like it's just lopsided. So yeah, that's gonna be a hot topic. But so how you feel about that though, Sam, man? To stay with the Elvis Presley, what do you feel like? How do you feel about the media, you know, kind of, you know, tilting one way and not going the other way?
It's interesting, and shout out to everyone. Keep dropping the area codes. We see you in there, man. Definitely keep doing that. But it's interesting because throughout time, and we could sit here and point guilt to the R. Kellys of the world. If you feel like he was guilty, Michael Jackson, if you feel like he was guilty, if you feel like they're innocent, you keep screaming that they're innocent. But it has to come and draw a line where there has to be some balance, because it's not only your Michael Jacksons, your R. Kellys, your Bill Cosby's are doing these horrendous things. And you see Kevin Spacey's, who else did that other asshole? What's his name? Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Now you see all this stuff with Elvis. Now, Elvis, like you said, he's looked at as the next coming to Jesus in certain households. You heard about Elvis still being alive growing up. Always someone that was highlighted, looked at as an icon, never in this kind of light. And in a day and age where it's so popular to bring up dead people's closets, why not, in all equality, bring up his right now? Because I still hear no media. And I'm seeing a lot going on via Instagram. And we all know that is an engine that can drive a lot. We seen when it was shut down what it did to a lot of motherfuckers. So we see the power that it has out here, the unfortunate power, but power nonetheless. And you don't hear any media outlets talking about it. Anybody bringing it up. You don't hear anybody in the works getting a documentary or network, HBO or Lifetime picking this thing up. So it just begs the question, hey, why not?
Yeah. And, you know, hopefully, not hopefully, I think that it's going to be continue to be swept under the rug. I don't think the mass media is in their interest to really, you know, destroy these people's image like it is a Michael. I'm looking through old stuff. We looked at it yesterday. We seen Michael Jackson, you know, even speaking out about some of you know, the allegations against him. He already talked about it. And I was saying in the pre-production, a lot of people think just because Michael Jackson reached a settlement with the family, they think, oh, that means that he's guilty. And I was just kind of thinking about it. I was like, nah, because when you it's one thing, because since he's not here, but if you go back and listen to his old stuff, you can see obviously that he was like, it's ridiculous. I just love kids, but I just want to get, you know, this out of, you know, out of the way. You know, it's like if you got somebody who's coming out slandering and you got an opportunity to shut them up and pay them and you got the money, you just do it and count your losses as opposed to just letting them continue to go and slander you. You know what I mean? So people think that, oh, just because he paid him, that means he was guilty. I don't believe that, you know, looking at, you know, Mike, and he's one of the guys right now. The reason I bring him up, because he's one of the guys that right now in the media who is being torn down by just mere allegations. And I don't agree with it, man. I think it's sad. You talked about Twitter, you know, being in contact with his family, kind of going back and forth and people retweeting stuff. And his family's definitely fighting. So, yeah, man, it's just a crazy day and age at this point, though, Sam, man.
They looking, I mean, the family really wants to start putting it out there. And we would beg the conversation on with the family start coming out and saying more and doing more. And we do see that now. I was kind of thinking, I kind of disagree with you a little bit when it comes to just paying them off and just getting it out the way. But then I'm sitting here thinking, damn, I'm not in that position. Now we get comments here and there and we joke about shit. That's on a smaller level. And then you see your bigger celebrities and stuff. They get so much, they get a swarm of stuff coming their way. And we talk about how often they have to shut it off. But then you think about Michael Jackson for a minute and the amount of years and the amount of headlines. You had nonstop shit coming out on this dude, nonstop. Yeah, to where it could beat up the normal man, let alone anybody else in that height and in that position. So I can understand where you're coming from. Paid him off and just shut them the fuck up. I can understand that thought, but I would want to fight it to the death. I mean, he might have, and he's still getting hit for it. It's a shame. Yeah,
I mean, it's just a it's weird to a lot of people, you know, because there's an interview that I was watching, he was going back and forth. The reporter was pretty much like, nah, it's not cool for you to take people's children and just want to, you know, lay with them. And yeah, that's what we say. Like, you know, why would you want to lay with somebody's children? But to me, it just seems like, you know, he was just a different type of person. Even though it might seem weird, it didn't seem like he had the intentions of doing anything harming them, you know, any type of way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, man, I completely agree with you. You have a lot of people out here that are going and kind of throwing different spins to this, and because he may have had behavior in ways that people may not understand. Shit, maybe have behavior in the ways we don't necessarily understand.
Right.
I don't want to sit there and be ignorant to the fact that he was genuine in answering any question that was thrown his way. And you obviously know he was asked numerous times about the pedophilia, and he answered it head on. Listen, this is why I attribute this to Jesus Christ. He even went biblical on why he does certain things the way he does them. And in no way, shape, or form did he ever come off as being a pedophile, ever. But people don't show these interviews. People don't do these things. But they'll let the accusers of the world and the people that even have kind of fucked up backgrounds and suspect credibility go out here, say whatever they want, slanders people's name, and then we get the media just driving it, pushing it. So
well, I think you need people to kind of arrange it, because it's like, and this is what happened with the documentary why I was so, you know, successful in his captivating the minds of the people, because they arranged it in such a way that is now captivating, as opposed to somebody going out and making a film defending Michael and showing, you know, I've seen a few videos that showed, you know, the 10 times that Shafe Chuck or whoever the guy's name were denied this, or somebody needs to just arrange it in a way. And the documentary was so powerful because not only did they do that in a way and they painted the picture, but they put it out on Sundance and HBO got it. So once it goes there, everybody has it now. And now you got people actually going in on Mike. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, the family, they need to continue to fight this, because it's just not a good look, because what this does, and a lot of people look at it like one way, but what it does is, you know, anybody can come out with an allegation now and people start believing it. Now it becomes true. That's not fair without any facts. And if it was you or your family member, you would want the benefit of the doubt in a situation like this, somebody lying and slandering your name just because it seems like it's true. And he was had some odd behavior, does not mean that they did what he said he did with those children.
Well said, man. And I couldn't agree more with what you said. You can't merely because people want to put a narrative to a situation and possibly slander, because it wasn't any objectivity to that documentary at all. Now, I haven't personally watched it, but from various comments and things I've seen enough to know there was no objectivity to that. It was straight steered toward one direction. This story wants to make you believe that this man is a pedophile. Here's why. And they painted a real nasty picture for people that may have been on the fence, may have wanted to believe it, may just be suckers for the media. Believe it.
And it seems like, Sam, man, not to cut you off, but they put those details in it. Like when we first started reading, what exactly they said happened in the documentary, they put these nasty details. I'm not going to repeat, but people know about what allegedly happened with the children. So all of a sudden, people thinking that that's actually happened. So they're like, man, but again, we got to remember once again, the 10-year investigation, how you brought up the last few times we did the podcast, they had 10-year FBI investigation, just the fact that him, just being who he is and actually being brought up on these charges and walking away and winning that case, to me is enough to say, okay, he didn't do it. Just those two right there. And, again, none of us were there, but we have to just go what is on the table and the evidence that's on the table. And I'm not going off of a documentary that somebody made up.
And you go off of who controls the media and who controlled the media back then, even when all of this was hot. They did everything they could to even make everybody try to believe that he was guilty, to put him in jail. There wasn't anything going out here that Michael Jackson was innocent. You didn't hear major outlets. Anything that we read, anything we've seen, you could see, look on the daily news or anything when we were going to the supermarket with a grandpa, they had some wacko jacko, this, that, and third, anything to try to make you believe that he was guilty. And he still got off. Come on, man. There was some shit on him. Couldn't have been. Not if he got off, because they wanted him gone by every stretch of the imagination, and probably would have had him going if they had a speck of evidence, but they didn't. And then he mysteriously dies of a drug overdose. Man.
Right.
And now they're going after his record. I mean, his whole library, everyone else's library, slander his name, take his shit.
Yeah, and it's not, you could even point to the Prince, that whole thing. A lot of people, were talking about that. Even Jay-Z kind of, alluded to, that as well. The conspiracy. It's a few videos out there though, man. YouTube now is they don't want those people putting out videos like that no more, obviously, with the conspiracy. But there are still a few left. I suggest people find them and download them and look at those conspiracy. But as far as like why Michael Jackson, as one of them called, was Michael Jackson killed for his publishing. I'll share that one with you. Right. Our brother did that one. There's a few other ones out there that's real well put together, and it kind of, just thought provoking. You know what I mean? And you can believe whatever you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? But 2 and 2 together to me is pretty easy.
Yeah, indeed, man. I'm sitting here looking through the comment section right now because we really haven't been engaged too bad, but we see y'all in there. We appreciate you. And something stood out to me. Strategy King, ratings for HBO show will pour fewer than 1 million viewers for the documentary.
What?
I don't know if I believe that. It's a lot of motherfuckers out here talking about that.
Right.
Can we confirm that, Strategy King? That seems low. I agree, it's probably lower than what they hoped.
Right.
Because there's a lot of Michael Jackson supporters out here. A lot of people ain't buying into that bullshit, but it's a lot of people that are. It's everywhere.
Somebody saying Sam Cooke and his publisher. Well, we will definitely deal with that. You know what I'm saying? That's another one. But yeah, we gotta if we can get a source from that, we'll definitely look into that. But 1 million, I mean, like, they better off put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
They probably got 100 million.
That's a fact. What I mean? Strategy King, I believe you, man. But that's just, the numbers is crazy. Yeah, that's nuts, man. Look what else we got in the comment section, man. Shout out to everyone out here watching the Uncensored Truth podcast right now. I'm gonna scroll through here, see what they saying about Michael, because it's for the people tonight, man. Chris Camaro, Sam, oh God, and Sandman. It's Sam Ant, brother, but we appreciate you. I'm at work listening, man. Well, thank you for tuning into us while you at work, man.
Somebody puts it was the social media hype that got people, to be honest. I agree with that. The memes, the little things that come out, the little clips, the way that people get on these platforms and just get in their emotions and not deal with the facts can definitely spew the narrative, I think. So I agree with that, definitely.
Indeed.
Very simple as bullshit. I see you, Kitty. What's going on with you?
Elvis was great to many, but he never meant shit to me because he was a racist, simple, and plain motherfuck him and hunky John Wayne. My man. Shout out to Antoine Irving.
You stupid.
Wow, man. Indeed.
I believe in my heart of heart that if he would have blanked kids, he would have been under jail. Yeah, I agree with that, Mary Charles. I didn't want to, repeat that, all those words, but yeah, I definitely agree with the statement by Mary Charles in the chat room. If he did it, he would have did it like 25 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
at least
easy.
Easy.
Miss Parker Lynn, Uncensored Truth podcast. What she say? what outlets to donate super chat is going? That's a great question. We took away the super chat because we felt as though you guys can donate by sharing the video, liking the video, keep showing your support. That's how you can donate to us. We really appreciate your dollar, but you worked hard for that. We work hard for what we do over here. So the way you could pay us is keep sharing the content, keep supporting the content. That's worth its weight in gold, man. I mean, I'm not speaking for you, or I am speaking for you,
yeah. Shit.
Indeed.
Yeah, definitely. He speak for both of us, man.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely, man. And as far as the Michael Jackson thing, man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy at this point. But maybe, you know, what we'll do is we'll get something together for y'all, you know, to show the other side of the story in the future. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But you know how we do, definitely. According to Variety UK, 2 million viewers. Okay. Yeah, all right, so let's just deal. Let's just say, man, let's just deal with that.
Okay.
And say dismal.
Yeah.
Dismal.
Terrible.
Right. That's dismal. You talking about, I mean, we do numbers like that with videos on our platform for something to be, you know, that big. So with that being said, let's just say, you know, that's true for the moment, right? Would you say that it's just the mass media who is manipulating a narrative to make it seem like it's worse than it is?
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
You have to put that on there now. And because if you really look at any real big situation where the media got a hold of it and we really kind of went crazy, when you went directly to the source, it was often said by the source, man, they blew that shit out of proportion. It wasn't how it seemed. We even heard Biggie and Tupac, and I want to talk about them later on in the podcast. It's funny, but they even kind of mentioned sometimes that the media overblew a lot of the shit that was really going on. I mean, who do we first hear about East Coast, West Coast, or should I say read about? It was in the source. They just kind of really just put emphasis on it and made us believe something in the narrative that may not necessarily have been true. And it caused a lot of tension between the people on the ground, the people that represented the East Coast and the people that represented the West Coast that had no money, that had nothing to do with it. And it caused tension there because all we could do was read. All we could do was just look into what we're reading and comprehend what we're reading and form a not true opinion. Right. You know what I mean? The media is very dangerous. And I think that they 100% are steering a narrative to where you think people are on 100% complete outrage. And then you might see your Facebook post here or your Instagram post here with somebody expressing the same sentiment. But I can honestly say from the 6 or 7 videos we did on them, it's been an outpouring of support for Michael Jackson. I mean, you got your people here or there which give their genuine disagreement toward Michael Jackson, and that's fair. They have their right to their opinion. Then you have your trolls, but for the most part, it's all love for Mike.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely, you know what I mean, a fact. You know what I mean, right there. I think even talking to people that's close to me, family members, and you know, parents and whatnot. Remember, they came up in that era, so they're even saying that it's BS. They heard our commentary, and they're like, "Nah, it's BS." You know what I mean? That's not, you know, when they see what it is. So I think that people could kind of, you know, see, and it's not, you know, there's nothing, nobody's invested in this. You know, we're not invested in it like that, you know, to whereas anybody's trying to control our narrative. We say what we want to say. We just, with our mind, and me and him may have differed on it. We don't sit down and really, you know, say how we're going to, you know, form our opinion. We just come in here and do it. So, but we both just looked at it, said, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? From the beginning, it's just natural. So, you know, somebody got to protect, you know, the truth out here.
Indeed. You know, the crazy thing is, now that you mention it, I don't think you or I have ever really had a legit conversation about Mike. We talked about his music, but we never said agreed on nothing. So when all this stuff kind of came about, it was really genuine. We found out how we felt right here live on the podcast, just like everybody else. And when we look at the facts, it's not hard to believe when you got a set of 2 eyes and you really look through and scrape through the facts. And people can say what they want about Michael Jackson as far as him and being proud to be Black. He loved everybody, as you should. You should have love for everybody out here, no matter their race, creed, color, even though there's a lot of hatred and a lot of truth that needs to be brought to the table. Once truth comes, understanding comes, we can all love each other. That being said, that's what Mike preached, and he got a lot of flack for it, but he was undeniably a very proud Black man, even though he had skin that was crazy. And the kids, I ain't got no account for that, but anything that you hear him talking about is he knows he's Black and he's proud to be Black. All Villago aside. So they knew what they were doing, man. It's crazy.
Definitely. I was just trying to verify those numbers, and it does say here that 1.4 for part 1, leaving Netherlands.
That's terrible, man.
So yeah, definitely, I appreciate that. So he was pretty close.
Yeah, definitely. Right on.
Part 2 was aired Monday night, drew a rating of 927,000. Okay.
If you'd have asked me just right off, what do you think the ratings? What do you think the numbers were on that leaving Neverland series? I'd have told you at least with 10, 15 million. Yeah, I'd have threw a number out there like that because I
Yeah.
would have genuinely thought, given how the media is pushing this and how it's so heavy out there, that this would have been like, this is at least 20 million, 15, 20 million. But 1.4, that's a loss. That's an L.
And I mean, maybe, you know, because, you know, TV, obviously, the internet is different as opposed to YouTube. But still, man, it's like, yeah, HBO. This is, you know, you've been around before this shit popped off like that, you know, the internet game. So it's just like, I consider it being, you know, very dismal. But at the end of the day, though, they may have had the desired effect. We'll see how long, you know, if they could continue to gain momentum. But they at one point they were talking about, and I think some places even started, you know, taking his music, removing his music, Michael Jackson's music.
You know, some places did out in the UK and other places. You never really seen any big American outlets do it, and you never really seen a backlash like R. Kelly all the way went there. What does that say to you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it says that's bullshit. Isn't enough to really move anybody like that.
And now, I mean, when you look at it, for what it's worth, I don't want to say the story is dead because it's so still fresh. But in the day and age that we live in, I mean, the content is so fast moving. In 2 weeks, this isn't going to be a story. So their attempt to kind of kill Michael Jackson may be dead and gone. So what kind of plan do they have to kind of make this come back up? Do you see them kind of maybe pushing it again, and we're next week having other headlines about crazy Michael Jackson shit? Or do you think the people spoke and said, man, leave us with this bullshit, we ain't buying it?
Well, you know, first and foremost, I mean, according to the article, HBO, and I guess for whatever reason, they're saying like this is solid rating for one. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I just think that, you know, the family needs to continue, even maybe put something together for themselves to kind of show, you know, the story, what really happened with this or whatever, because it may continue to gain esteem where, you know, who knows what can happen from this point, you know, more you saw, you know, black celebrities and all these people starting to respond to this, that have influence, and they got people that follow them and have the same sentiments, and once they say something, they tend to believe it. So people have influence out here, but me personally, I hope that it doesn't get to the point where it really tarnishes his legacy any further than it already has. That's all I can hope for. I really don't know.
You know, as long as they can't take away the music, they can't tarnish his legacy, because that music is so powerful. Mike Jackson has powerful music, and you could even, as much as they're attempting little ways here or there, a kid can hear that shit by accident and get so drawn toward it where it's undeniable. And we talked about the power that they're starting to grab over our music, which is very dangerous, because we've had very got high things to say about your titles and your streaming services, how convenient they are. But we brought up a crazy point. CDs are the thing of the past, and how do we create or keep a catalog now? Because it's all on our phone. And with it a switch of a button, all that music can be gone. If they genuinely wanted to take away Michael Jackson's music, all they got to do is flip a switch, and you can't get Michael Jackson's music anymore, because we can't buy CDs unless you know somebody that got the vinyl. But who the fuck out here got a record player? So, man, it's wild.
Yeah. So I mean, that kind of is what it is. You know, with that, Miss Parker Lynn says, "Did Old God and Sandman? Did you hear what Jermaine said years ago?" I guess in reference to Michael.
I can't quote it right now, but I've heard Jermaine be outspoken about it and him being innocent, and I've heard Jan say some things about him being innocent. I haven't heard anything recent. I haven't heard anything in regards to response from the documentary, and this is what we were talking about. Do some of his brothers and family members need to come out and speak against this? All in thinking that this was doing crazy numbers, but 1.4, maybe they knew this was like, man, ain't nobody paying attention to this shit. Maybe we need to just be quiet. I mean, you have his nephew out here. Like I said, I hit him up, and his response is going very well. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast and talk to him, because he seems to want to be outspoken and in the front of this, representing the family from Michael Jackson's innocence. So it'd be great to talk to him and get his perspective. But the family seems to be quiet, and maybe it's because they know soon, man, it's just going to be under the rug. They can't shut Michael Jackson out. As long as his music is alive, he's alive.
Right. Strategy Geek for R. Kelly's documentary did 2.1 million viewers. More watch R. Kelly documentary than MJ doc. HBO flopped.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's what people, you see how it is, man, what people are drawn to. You know what I'm saying? So I would agree with that, Strategy King. I don't think that's solid, man. When you're talking about the hype and the anticipation for that to only do 1.4, come on, man.
That's whack. I mean, I seen Strategy King. I think if it was him, I thought 5 million views for the Grammys. That's even garbage. Like, and everything that everyone's bringing up right now, I haven't watched. I didn't see the documentary, Michael Jackson's. I didn't see R. Kelly's. I didn't watch the Grammys.
Nah.
So, I mean, I guess we got the same eyes and ears of the people right now. We ain't buying that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed.
But I see people in here excited to be catching us live. Definitely every Friday night, man. We're going to be right here on this channel, 8 p.m. You know what I mean? Rocking out, with y'all and whatnot. Also opening up, the phones as well. You know what I'm saying? Not tonight, but next time I saw somebody in there said they wanted to talk about it. Probably should have, and we didn't get it set up, prior.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, we'll start getting that set up. It was such a nice day out, man. It was a beautiful day. We got outside. We got to enjoy ourselves. We're in transition right now for the Uncensored Truth podcast because we're in position of moving sets. We also got the Wake and Bake podcast coming soon. That set's coming together. That's going to be crazy. That'll be up within, let's say, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll say April. I want to say 420, but I want to start way before that.
Yeah. We get it to be rolling.
So, we'll start probably around April or so, and we'll get that cooking for y'all, man. That should be a real treat. Definitely against the grain, different than what we do over here at the Uncensored Truth podcast. Get different perspective. We're going to be talking about some shit over there, man. It should be fun. What we got going on here right now?
Yeah, see, I think it's Malika 727. They said they want to talk. All right, yeah, we're gonna talk about it. I don't see it dying down anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely come back and rock out. We definitely appreciate the fact that y'all appreciate the content. Now Jay Prince took his off mic. Everybody's sleeping on. Oh, the New Zealand thing that happened.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, that was pretty sad, man. Condolences to anybody affected, by that. Yeah, Chris, that's right, Chris. Wake and Bake podcast is coming, man, real soon. And like I said, I don't know if you explained it yet, but we're gonna be laid back on that one. I mean, blazing, doing reaction videos, just kind of showing y'all a different side. Oh, we always say this one, we come in to get straight to business. That one, we kind of just gonna just be chilling and just slowing the pace down and just talking about relationship, all types of real stuff, so y'all can kind of definitely get to know us. You know what I mean? Better, man. I can't wait for that one, man. I definitely can't.
Yeah, it's not going to be any real script. We can no cadence. We're going to come in there blazing and chilling and talking to the people, man, and having some real conversation, in-depth conversation. I can't wait for that either, man, because we have great conversations in our pre-production and post-production meetings.
That's the best ones.
Those are the best ones. And we're like, damn, we got to put this on there.
Yeah.
And now we got a platform to do that. You can go over YouTube. You can actually go type in Wake and Bake podcast right now and get a head start. We got the YouTube channel up. You can also get a head start on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play because Wake and Bake podcast is up there right now. That's a little secret for the 47 people watching right now. Just to get a head start and watching. I think we got a couple videos over there, the content, but it'll officially be up in the next couple of weeks. We appreciate you, man. It's a chill night, like you guys said. We'll be over at the Uncensored Truth podcast officially now every Friday evening, giving you all the latest stories, the hottest topics of the day, of the week. You already know. Today, we kind of wanted to give it an introduction, talk to the people, man. So we really didn't put too much out there, but we appreciate everyone's out here listening right now.
No doubt.
Always on this Friday evening.
Yes, sir. So let's transition a little bit, man. Let's talk about the first of all, we did a video we talked about on the podcast. Anybody who watched the full podcast, Sandman dropped it earlier. Check that out on iTunes. Type in Uncensored Truth podcast. We were talking about the TI towards the end, and putting up the post, pretty much saying that if you look at his track record through movies, music, just what he's done, in music, nobody can really compare, except for probably Tupac. Somebody came at him and said Jay-Z, and then he kind of refuted that as well. So kind of flexing his muscle online, and we talked about that, and it kind of led to another, conversation as far as the Biggie. How come nobody ever says who's the next Biggie? You know what I mean? So we wanted to talk about that tonight and see who is, if anybody is the heir apparent to Biggie, because we both agreed, just talking that we agree that Biggie is better than Pac lyrically.
Yeah,
but go ahead, Sam, man.
But I mean, before we even get to who's the next Biggie, let me ask the people in the comment section a question real quick. The people in the building: is Biggie underappreciated? Now, I say that because obviously we just had Biggie Day, the March 9th, the day that he passed away, which was real weird to me how we ordained that Biggie Day. And I think a couple people were outspoken about that. Like, the day of his death can't be Biggie Day; it should be the day of his life. And why are we perpetuating this such a sad day in hip hop? We shouldn't, celebrate life, but I don't know about Biggie Day. That seemed kind of weird to me.
Right.
Nonetheless, when you go back and you think about the catalogs, man, I was listening to Biggie today and I'm like, damn, you hear people saying I'm the next Pac. And not that we don't have absolute the utmost respect for Tupac for what he did for the culture, what he did outside of the booth, with the revolution that he really created out here for himself. But when it just comes to rap, and when it comes to the conversation of Biggie and Tupac, because you can't talk without one without thinking about the other.
Right.
It just makes me think, damn, in 2019, if these kids knew what Biggie was really about, god damn. Biggie was a storyteller. Like, you could write a movie off of some of Biggie's songs, man. So I think he was kind of underappreciated. I think I seen somebody say overrated. You know what? Drop me one. Let's do this. One, if Biggie was overrated. Two, if Biggie was underrated. One, overrated. Two, underrated for Biggie Smalls right now. I want to see what the people were thinking.
Right.
I think he's underrated, underappreciated right now. Because dude was an animal.
You think just compared to the, you know, yeah, I would say that now. I think the more time that goes, it kind of seems like he's kind of fading more and more away. You know, and Pac, you know, remains more alive. You know, but yeah, definitely, man. I agree. I think Biggie was one of the best, even in a short time in the game. Even right now, the way he did it, told the story, the way his lyrics were, there's no really comparison, you know, to him. Even now, I think who can you say? You know, who can rock how Biggie rocked right now? Just the what he embodied.
I seen Kendrick can tell a great story too, but it was fucking Biggie's voice. It was the whole fucking body of work. When he came into Today's Agenda, got the suitcase up in the central, like damn, like you already knew that he was about to paint a picture that and put you on a ride. It was like, man, when you finished that song, like woo. Yeah. And the way he narrated it was genius.
I saw somebody who put something in the comment. They said Biggie's album stood the test of time. His album, like we listened to it earlier. You put it in, and it's just like, oh, like, and right now it's like, oh, so it's just like not every album, not every rapper could do that. Kendrick, obviously, I could say that I slept on Kendrick. You know what I mean? Right now, Kendrick's a genius. I just go ahead and put it out there. But I don't know if you could compare those two. You know, like you said, the voice, the feel. I think Biggie, you know, if he was alive, man, I think the sky was definitely going to be the limit. I think he would have probably been the best ever.
Hold that thought real quick, because Ontario, Canada said something very, very great, and I want to bring this to attention. You got to. Biggie had no conscious lyrics. Tupac was revolutionary. I agree 100%. Now, I had a point in my life where I had to kind of get off of Biggie because I'm like, damn, it is no substance in this shit at all. I didn't know how to separate my music from my real life, and Biggie was putting me down a real dark road. Just that music, I was like, I got to get away from. Pac had you on a different level. Pac had you on a different way of thinking. But the popular shit out here is that ignorant, raw, real shit. That's the stuff that we kind of resonate with. So, do we give big criticism for that, or do we gotta?
I say no, because it's like in one breath, somebody could look at it like, well, Big was real. He was just talking about what he did coming up in the streets of Brooklyn and what he experienced. A lot of people's criticism of Pac is like he didn't really live that life, what he was talking about at a certain point. They said, you know, they bring up, you know, his start and whatnot and all of that. So I wouldn't take a shot at Biggie for that, because a lot of rappers do that. So it's like, are you hot or cold? Are you a conscious rapper? Or are you the gangster rapper? Biggie was just a gangster rapper. I think you can it is what it is. He never tried to be something he wasn't. That's what I'm trying to say.
And to your point, man, you brought up a great point. It would be so crazy to see him alive right now and see his evolution, because eventually it would have went from the street and evolved into something.
Definitely.
And his repertoire and the way that he rhymed was better than anybody at the time. And like people said in the chat room, like you said, it stood the test of time. So all we have is a very, very small catalog to work with Biggie Smalls. He died when he's 25. Yeah. So he didn't even get to grow, learn, really pay taxes. Like, this brother had a story to tell, how we see a lot of these great rappers shit. We see Meek evolve and go through things that he went through, and seeing how great that he's evolving. We've seen how Jay-Z in that same era evolved. We've seen how Nas evolved. So it was unfair that we didn't really get to see Biggie evolve like that. And unfortunately, he's put under a box where now, I mean, his lyrics and his storytelling are second to none, but he's also not in that conscious box where he could have went there and could have possibly. I mean, Sky Was the Limit was dope. Yeah, he was almost going there. Juicy was dope. He was going there. He was just telling stories.
Yeah. I think Biggie would have probably took, you know, the route of Jay-Z, you know, as far as the business kind of evolving, you know, and just becoming a better person. I mean, these guys were young. Imagine how you know, John Doe's correcting us, you know, Pac 25, Big 24 in the chat room. But it's just like, with that being said, imagine yourself at 24, 25 years old, and even to now, how much you evolved and what you talked about. So they were young men. They had to go through that process. So I don't think that we can, you know, really criticize them like that, either one of them, for what they were as young men.
If we had this podcast when we were 24, 25, oh, how it'd be so fucking different.
Right.
Talking about how we talk. And I would hate for people, and it goes to how unfortunate it is how we could pull out people's past, like we've seen Kevin Hart's past get pull up in other people's, because people are allowed to grow. And I can only imagine some of the shit we would have said 10, 15 years, not 10, man, we ain't that old, a couple years ago, back when we were 24, and to where we are now, it's like, man,
Yeah.
Don't judge us on what we were thinking and talking about back then. That's not cool to where we are right now. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, man. But who would you say is, the best though? I mean, I know this conversation is currently, had, but and not just lyrically, but just like because when T.I. was bringing up this, he wanted to put himself at the top guy, So who would you say right now, conscious wise, business wise, lyrics wise, consistency, accolades wise, is the best right now in the game? Right now, hands down, Kendrick, Jay, all of them, throw them in there.
Kendrick. I'm listening to Kendrick shit now, and I'm just like, man, this dude is masterful.
Yeah,
he is, and people can kind of, because we love that raw, that real, that bump music, and the Pimp a Butterfly was a little different. Damn was a little against the grain. Some of his music, you can kind of go, man, what the fuck is this shit? But when you really dive into it, or when you can go back to it, like you were talking about going back and really listening to Meek's album, I was going back to listening to Section 80, High Power, and it's like you can really appreciate what these brothers are delivering, and there's some bars going on, and when you really listen and dive in, and you can understand the genius, and then you look at how he took care of his business on the music side, and he's not caught up under indie wild contracts where he's obligated to do this or do that. He goes on his accord. He's not obligated to do any wild interviews. You don't have to see him on Instagram going for clout. Very quiet, very mysterious, kind of like another one of the greatest of all time right now with Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z gave him his stamp of approval when it comes to lyrics. That dude, he's on another level.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta put Kendrick out there, man. I definitely do as today when it stands. I can't wait for some more music to come out.
I'll agree. I'll definitely have to. I mean, maybe lyrically, yeah, definitely. I think Kendrick's the best, out right now. Not to take anything away from anybody else.
What y'all think in the chat room? I seen somebody say T.I.'s my fave, Tupac my fave all time. Biggie people could listen to. Big people felt Pac. Agreed. Trying to see if anybody thinks. Who do y'all think is the best out here right now? I see Jay and Kendrick, Hove, Cole. I agree with you on J. Cole. I couldn't agree with you more when it comes to Cole as well. He's a little more out there than Kendrick, but it's working for him because he's still genuine.
Right.
Dave East still got some time to me. He's a crazy lyricist, and we talk about him often now since we got slack for not giving him any respect. You know what I mean? But what about him?
Somebody say can't forget Nas.
Never forget Nas.
He's doing a lot, on business as well too. A lot of people not talking about that. And lyrically, I just don't think he's the best right now. That's all. I think gotta give it to Kendrick.
Not now. I mean, a lot of people didn't like the Nas album with what's my name? Kanye. They weren't feeling that. Even though I liked it. I enjoyed it. My son loved it.
Right.
It got him introduced to some of the old Nas, hearing some of the new Nas. He was like, okay, who's this guy? And it was dope. But a lot of people got slack for that, or Nas got slack for that. And then he was supposedly had an album out with Swiss coming. And people were looking forward to that, but that didn't come out. But Nas can still work, man.
Somebody saying Rick Ross. I mean, Rick, I think underrated. We had a whole conversation about that, about Rick Ross being definitely underrated. Definitely. But I wouldn't put him up there as one of the top ones. No disrespect to Rose, because he's in my title playlist. He's one of the top guys I listen to.
He got a memoir coming out. He got a book coming out where he's going to address the whole Officer Ricky shit. He's going to talk about his time behind the correction officer. He's going to talk about his time in rap. We talked about this one time on the podcast, and we asked, was he underrated? And a lot of people were saying, yeah, and a lot of people put on the Officer Ricky shit. Do you think him addressing this finally and just coming all the way out open will kind of stamp his legacy? Because the last 10 years, man, Rick Ross there's been a lot. It's hard pressed to see anybody who's put in more work lyrically than Rick Ross.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's like with him, he obviously talked about it, before. I guess he wants to officially, everybody wants that book where they can really go in depth, about it. But a lot of people were just up in arms, because he was on the other side of the law, but then he lied about it, was kind of caught in a lie, and he came out and kind of said that he was. So it's so old at this point, and it's like, all right, you was correctional officer, okay, you had to the way he says he had to do a job, he would have been doing anything else. He had to do this to make money. He got out and did what he did. So I mean, I think it's let bygones be bygones with that. People and move on. He was a young man. He's getting older now. He's a businessman now. He got children, family, and all that. Get over that shit, man. He was a police, but it is what it is.
Indeed, man. I hear you. Top youngin, oh God, I seen Adversity Entertainment. Who's the top youngins in the game right now? I want to throw that out there for the people too, if y'all listening. And let's put a number on top youngins. Let's put 17 to what? 21, 22? 17 or 16.
25. Yeah.
16 to 25.
Right.
16 to 25 category. Who's the top lyricist in the game right now? And do people agree with what Offset said a couple weeks ago when he was doing his media run for the album? Is real content coming back? Is that coming alive? Because we had a day and age where anybody could put out any fucking thing with a dope beat and a nice little bankroll, and we heard a bunch of bullshit. Now people are really kind of getting back into the content, the substance. What do you think about that, old guy? The substance coming back?
Man, no, I want Kitty. She made a good remark. She put, New York has always been more lyrical than the South. South has beats over time. It's come together. I think that's a good point right there. Now you say that one more time. What you said again?
Top Youngin.
Top Youngin. I think a lot of people sleep on Joey Badass. You know what I'm saying? He's real lyrical. You know what I'm saying? I would say Davies. I don't know how old Davies is.
He might be a little too old for that.
He might be a little old to that. Okay.
Still Youngin, yeah.
Right, but I would say Joey Badass, man, right now. Little Pump. Say no.
Oh, shit. Say, come on, give me a Little Pump verse, old guy. You don't know a fucking Little Pump verse, man.
Nah, but man, a lot of people don't really talk about him, man. But yeah, that's what I'll say is the best right now.
Yeah, who's YB and Cordy? Who? That's my man with the braids, right? The light skinned brother with the braids who was rocking with Dre. That motherfucker's a truth. I was trying to figure out his name, but I didn't know his name, and y'all wasn't gonna get on me in here. Okay. NBA Youngboy. What do you think about
lyrically?
Him? Yeah,
he's all right.
I like him.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, he's good.
What I don't like about him is him allowing people to get under his skin. It's too easy. It's too easy for anybody just to be able to walk up to him and cause a headline or get some clout or whatever. You got to be able to have more of a solid head on your shoulders, man, because you got a real great thing going on out here. You could be one of the next young and up and coming South rappers. Baton Rouge just has a great crop of young talent out there, and you could be right with them. Just don't let the dumb shit get in your way, man.
Roddy Ricch is good. I like Roddy Ricch. I think that's Meek. I think Meek, if I'm not mistaken, Meek signed him.
Okay.
He's dope too. A Boogie, I don't know a lot about him.
I like him.
You know what I'm saying?
I like him. My son loves that album. And I think he did a couple, 10, 12 weeks for #1 straight.
Okay.
And Jay loves a couple of them songs. I'm out there working out today and he's listening to them. I'm like, yo, let that album rock. Let me listen to some of them joints. And yeah, I like that.
I do like Little Baby, Strategy King. I like Little Baby. I like it the way he raps.
I gotta listen.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the one that what you call it? Drake is rocking out with. You know what I'm saying? Brand new. All right, it came on the radio.
Nah.
All right, I wish we could play it, but we can't.
Nah, hell no.
We just went off the air for a second. It just came out. Let's come back on in a second. Hold on.
That's good. Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties on YouTube, but you still rocking with us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. As we're talking to the people right now, little question and answer session from the Uncensored True Podcast. Brother Sam Ant and oh God, we see you in the comments section. Kitty704. Sorry for that little technical difficulty. We are back in the building.
Yeah.
We are back in the building. Indeed, man. But let me see. Let's look at some of the comments, man. Let's get the people involved.
Hit the like button as well, man. If y'all in here, y'all enjoying the content. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like button for us. We do appreciate it. If y'all like the theme music, the second line down, you can listen to my man Riz. Go to Apple and go show him some support. I know a lot of people ask, who is this? We left the link right down there in the description. It says listen to Riz in the link below.
Indeed, man. Riz got a couple tracks on there right now that you can go enjoy. But yeah, man, we appreciate the support, each and every one of y'all. Drop your area codes right now.
Let's talk a little football too for a quick minute, man.
Well, what you got, man?
We got to talk about this.
Talking this football
because he's mad because the Skins spent like 84 million on LeBron, whatever the hell his name is, trying to be my man Sean Taylor, but he ain't. But rest in peace to Sean Taylor. I love the Eagles move. I got to talk about this real quick for my sports people out there. You know what I mean? Going back in and picking up my man number 10, man, Jackpot. Deshaun Jackson. Sam Matt don't like it because he used to terrorize the Redskins, and he knows that he's going to be getting beat with the double move. His boy over there, what's the cornerback over there? His name is slipping my mind right now. Not Gurley. For the Redskins, y'all cornerback, y'all top cornerback. What's the cat's name?
You talking about
what's the cat's name? I can't remember his name, but anyway,
Josh Norman.
Yeah, Josh Norman. He know Deshaun's going to be hitting him with the double move, so he's mad. But yeah, man, I'm excited about what the Eagles OBJ going over to Cleveland.
Man, we read some area codes right now in the building, man. I ain't
Yeah.
talking 757-719-215. 443 in the building, 504-501. 501-314. Giants are on crack. I definitely agree. The Giants are on fucking crack. They are smoking something wild. Let's talk about these bum ass Eagles for old guy real quick, man, because he's so excited. Can't wait. Thinking he's about to go to another damn one of them parades.
Yeah, I went to that.
And getting excited, man. 856 in the building. Jersey's always in the building. Invisible Truth Podcast, am I saying right now? We're having some technical difficulties because it's wild ass weather out here. Yeah. Y'all don't know what we're going through. We had a great 75-degree weather, but now we got some storms coming in, so you got to bear with us. But if you want this for your listening pleasure, you can check it out on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play tomorrow. What you seeing?
I like that one, Invisible Truth.
The Invisible Truth Podcast. Hell yeah. 631-856-225 in the building. Browns up 1. They've been sorry since Tecmo Bowl. Hell yeah, they've been sorry. What that was? Who was that? Not Vinny Testaverde. Drew. Bernie Kosar.
Yeah.
And fucking Ernest Biner.
My thing is, man, like, okay, I get it. Like, y'all got my man Odell, but y'all still the Browns. I don't see y'all doing. I ain't trying to even hate. I got a good quarterback. I got good receivers, and a lot of people talking about their defense being loaded as well. I don't know a lot about it, but you're the Browns. You gonna have to show me.
Stephen Boone, Deadskins fans, stay hating. Yeah, we do.
That's right.
And I know what? Fuck it. We do hate. I'll rest in peace to 21. That's all we got to do. Our front office is garbage. We had 3 Super Bowls, and that's what we used to joke about with the Eagles, but now they went and brought one out their ass and won one. Man, but yeah, you know what? It bothers me being a Redskins fan because now I'm a realist and I'm not invested as much as I was as a kid. You really see the NFL for what it is, but kind of still can enjoy the sport. We just got a terrible front office, man. And I've said this for years. Until we get our front office changed up, until we start making better decisions there, the football field, well, you're going to see the product that they put out there. And it's always going to be dismal, remedial, mediocre. 8-8, 10-6 at best. First round of playoffs gone, and our fans are gonna be frustrated.
Yeah, I still see y'all have a quarterback, so that's the thing, man. Case Keenum, like what type of shit is that? You know what I mean? I just think it's the Eagles. Though I think they're the best team right now, at least on paper, right now in the NFC. It's only going to get better with the draft. Our front office is shit. Howie Roseman, like I was kind of looking like, damn, he let go of my man on the defensive line to the Patriots. But they brought in my man Malik Jackson, who's just up the field rusher, and that's all we. That's how we remember the. You remember the Jim Johnson defense days, man?
Yeah.
When we had all these people who just get after the quarterback and these blitzes.
I remember all in 4 NFC championships and no Super Bowls. I remember that.
Man,
shit.
That's Andy Reid days.
It was yesterday.
That's the Andy Reid days, man. But yeah, Mega Bills. But I'm in VA Heller. I hate I'll say about the Redskins fan, y'all passionate though. I respect y'all, but I ain't won nothing forever.
And this is why they got to put out a better product because there's very few fan bases out there that love their squad the way the Redskins love their squad. And over the years, and I used to have season tickets for them. What was it, 5-6 years ago?
Right.
And what used to really make me mad is how some people will come into their house, the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and it'd be sometimes more of the opponent's fans than it is Skins fans because we're tired of the bullshit going on in the front office. You can't have that in Philly. You remember the last time we went to a Philly game together? I almost got in a fight.
They're about to whoop his ass.
I'm gonna whip nobody's ass, man. If you would have let me fight out there with all the motherfucking Eagles fans.
Here's the thing. When you go to Eagle Stadium, it's best not to say anything. Because once you say something, you're gonna have 50 motherfuckers. That's good. Like, that's drunk. That's how it went down. I wasn't gonna let you get jumped or nothing, but that's how it went down. Man, Philly got the best fans. Going to keep it a buck.
They don't make it comfortable for people to come in there, and that's how it should be.
Yeah,
you got to expect that. Don't get violent and have nobody getting put in jail, but you got to roast the shit out of them other people coming in there. You got to make it uncomfortable. If you got a kid, make that kid a little nervous. You ain't got to sit there and disrespect them, but get close to disrespecting them. This is your house, goddamn it. Let them know. And I can appreciate that from the Eagles fans. But
you better not jump up and start cheering. That's all I'm saying. Don't ever jump up and start cheering in the Eagles Stadium and shit.
I did that in the vet back in the day with my mom. They would throw snowballs at me and shit. And I was in high school.
Motherfuckers throw a beer bottle at you. It's really like that. Like I'm telling you, there's no place, but it's still a good atmosphere. It's not like a scary place. It's a good atmosphere to watch a football game. We would definitely be out there checking it out.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun, man. And they need to get themselves together a little bit. We all know the political bullshit going on with the NFL, but it's good to be able to talk some football.
What do you think about the Saints? Because my man put Who Dat Nation. I wanted to get all the team. What do you think they're going to do anything this year, or are they pretty much done?
They got a great front office, too, so they'll always be in it. They got a weak-ass division. I mean, you got the Falcons who are always up and down. They could be 14-2 one year. They could be the same team, the same squad, 7-9. So they're always up and down. I don't know about the Panthers. They're still up in the air. And who else they got in the division? Tampa Bay, that shit ain't going to do nothing. So they're always going to be up there. They're always going to be in contention. I think right now, when you look at the NFC, your main players are obviously the Rams, even though they're going to come off a heartbreak. They're going to have a little bit of a hangover. You got Philly. You got the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Cowboys, you don't see them?
No,
I
don't. And the one thing I do want to say about the Redskins is we had a great team going on earlier in the year. We got killed by injuries, but that can't be an excuse. That's where the front office comes in, because a lot of teams in the NFC East got hit with a lot of injuries. You've seen some overcome. You've seen what some others did. Now, Alex Smith was not the answer for the Redskins when he was good. When he was in there, he damn sure isn't the option now. They needed to bring him in and kind of develop him how they did my man Mahomes and bring in a quarterback. We got no quarterback. So I don't care how great the offensive line is, defensive line, the cornerback, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, what the fuck they bring in there. Right. Until we get a solid quarterback, we still aren't making noise, especially in the NFC East.
Right.
In a division where you could maybe pull one out your ass every year or so because it's so competitive.
Yeah, that's always a fact,
you know what I mean?
No matter what, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, I have to agree. Eagles. I'll say AFC. I see the Patriots being right back there again. I mean, I just say it's what it is. I don't see nobody being able to beat the Patriots again. They just loaded up, got some big players. They always do that. They wait to the end to see who's available, and they bring them in, and they make it work.
Oh God, does that make you sick, or do you appreciate greatness? Watching the Patriots do what they did over the years, we remember
both.
Yeah, let me just talk about that.
Nah, I mean, obviously it makes me sick because they beat us the first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we should, that was one McNabb. I wanted that one even more than we wanted this one. Yeah, Grandpa's still alive, did and all that, so we definitely wanted that one. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, the Patriots, it's to be envied, but it's just like I like it because there's nothing wrong with a winner. Like Jordan, we come up watching winners. You know what I mean? Tiger Woods, Venus and Serena. We come up watching people that continue every time they're in the big stage win. So we kind of expect that, people to do that. But the Patriots to do it, it's just been something like, I mean, obviously Brady, the culture that they got up there and everything, have people want to come in and just ball hard for them, just keeps them winning games. I know people talking about the cheat gate thing. Yeah, we heard about that too, but they won like mad Super Bowls. They ain't cheating all them shit.
Yeah, exactly. All them games, not all of them. We can't get all of them, but it is what it is. I seen somebody saying here, are you guys from New York or Philly? We from Jersey, baby. Jersey all day long. Shout out to that Jersey.
They always do that. They always either got to be from here, but it's cool.
Well, I mean, and we're from
Jersey but
we're from a piece of Jersey where it's heavy Philly. Because we're so close to the Philly, and then you got your North Jersey where you see in Tennessee your Giants fans. My mama's from D.C. Your daddy from D.C., but it's cool. We came up with Eagles fans. You know what I mean? My grandfather was a hardcore Eagles fan. So in this house, he was either Redskins or Eagles. We ended up splitting down the middle. R.I.P.
This thing started. Now he started an Eagles fan
when I was 6,
and he flipped.
When I was 6,
he flipped.
6 years old,
he flipped.
We want to sit here and talk about when I was a baby.
He flipped.
Ain't no such a thing. I wasn't fucking. I flipped to a worse team. Yeah, that flip worked for me.
Yeah.
Let me say, I'm gonna go ahead and lead the Eagles and go ahead to a shittier team and go to the Redskins.
My man John Doe put, I found out the NFL was rigged. Disappointed. Did you see a YouTube video on that? Because I seen a couple of YouTube videos about the NFL being rigged, and it made me think a little bit, especially with the I think it was the Seattle one. But then they should have gave it to my man. What's my man's? I can't believe I can't get his name. Seattle's running back at the time, the big dude with the treads. What's his name?
You're talking about
Marshawn Lynch, right?
Yeah.
And they passed it and he threw an interception. And it made me start. And he showed the other few games like 99.9% of the time. That's a no fucking brainer.
Yeah.
He's giving it to this beast to score. He's scoring the touchdown.
100%.
Who's stopping him?
100%.
I don't care if you got all 11 guys in front of him, but it's like, yeah, it's crazy, man. So I don't know how far it goes. I think it'd be very hard, but I do think that's because you look at even the Saints thing. It could be some things, but I think it'd be hard to rig games. It'd have to be too many people involved in it.
It would be way too many people involved in it. And I didn't know. I didn't watch any of those because I want to, but then I don't. It's hard for me to believe that all the way to a certain degree. Basketball, baseball, a little easier to manipulate than a football. But and who was that dude? Donahue. He came out and admitted that he was rigging games, calling fouls and shit when he was supposed to. So it's not too far out of the imagination. But in football, it's really hard to, like, you would see it. When you start seeing weird-ass pass interference calls and they lead to touchdowns, you start seeing weird calls on the offense where it's blatant to where we can go, yo, that team was being targeted. What game have we ever watched where we seen one particular team, both on offense and defense, be targeted 4 quarters of a game?
Well, I will say, I will say that, you know, it could. I wouldn't put it past me. If I wouldn't be surprised if it was, simply because, and here's what I'll say: some of the media markets are bigger than others.
That's a very good point.
You know what I'm saying? And they bring, you know, that dollar will be more if you get a team like Los Angeles as opposed to a team like Buffalo, or a team like Philly as opposed to a team like Tampa Bay, a smaller media market. So it could be truth to it. I would like to see more, you know, evidence of it, but it could be, I mean, a few players here or there get paid off. I mean, we always just try to think analytically with everything. That's all.
And now just kind of to rebuttal that a little bit, it also depends on the player, because we've seen what a LeBron James can do for Cleveland, or what a Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and some championships could do for Oakland, Golden State, and two small market teams initially. But when big stars come in there and bring star power and revenue, how it can flip them overnight.
Millions, right?
So it depends. I mean, who the hell wants to go to Buffalo and try to win a championship? Who wanted to go to Cleveland?
Right.
That shit wasn't cool to go out there and freeze and try to win a championship. They wanted to be out where it was warm, and they wanted to be in a dome. And you tend to see these teams with a good front office win a championship. Philly, it's great weather half the year, and then you got to deal with the cold sometimes. So people are adapted to that. So I mean, I think all that goes hand in hand. I think in entertainment, you got to look to a certain degree. And when you got money and betting and things of that nature, there's always some kind of funny shit that goes on and some numbers being played with when you got money involved. But to 100% degree, thinking that they know who's going to win the Super Bowl going into years, no, I don't think so.
But did you ever see like the people who've been predicting it and all? That's crazy, man. It's just it's something can go on and on. I mean, for hours. We've been on for about an hour. You know what I mean? Right now, we appreciate the people who rocked out with us, man. We had a nice little crowd. People just engaged in the content tonight. We always appreciate that. We're going to be here every Friday night, at 8 p.m. right here on this channel, just talking about, you know, whatever, you know, topic that we want, you know what I mean, pretty much, you know, on the channel. So, yeah, man, I guess we could blaze my man, my man Riz for a little bit and, you know, get on out of here, man.
Drop the area codes in the building right now, man. Let us know what you're thinking. Wake and Bake podcast coming soon. If you're enjoying the content, it's going to get way worse over there on the Wake and Bake motherfucking podcast. We're going to go against the grain. We are family. You're going to be able to tell we family over there, because we're going to be getting it in on all the different topics that we don't get in on this podcast. We're very professional over here. We try to remain and maintain a certain level of professionalism, because we have aspirations for this podcast to do some real big things. But we also have another side to us, obviously. And we can't wait to show that for the Wake and Bake podcast.
Shit,
go ahead and tell them. Go ahead and tell them. Man,
everybody, I was looking at the Sean Jackson, and I seen the video like when he was around his people, and the way he was talking when like it was like the Instagram joint. Then he was in the press conference. It was like two different people, and it's cool. You got to put that face on,
right?
But we all got that side. This is the professional we gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling, man. That's all. And y'all gonna enjoy it, definitely.
We grew up in the Def Jam era, so there's not really too many things that are out of bounds, and we're gonna get to show y'all over there, man. We have a good time. We like to make fun. We like to joke. We don't mind getting it back, but we always keep it real, raw, and uncut. You're gonna get a different perspective, but you're still nonetheless gonna enjoy the content, man. So make sure y'all know Wake and Bake podcast. Y'all can go over there right now and get a sneak peek. Don't got too many videos of content, but it's enough. Go ahead and enjoy yourself over there on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or on YouTube. See what we got going on in the comment section before we get out of here, man. 330's in the building, 850 Chicago. We love Chi-Town. Jersey's in the building, 713.
Yeah. Kiwi says, I wish you guys were live every day. Someday it may happen.
You never know, man. We talk about it. We're talking about going live another day on the Uncensored Truth. We're definitely going to have a Wake and Bake live. That's going down.
Yeah. Mega Bill says from Chicago to VA, 757-314 Florida. I see y'all checking in. I also see the 314 checking in. I see Black Wall Street, I think that is, checking in. Jersey, what up?
Indeed, man, indeed.
The Bay Area, I see you.
Love it in the Bay, man. I got family out in the Bay. Don Dill, man, he been with us all night. Grown-ass men got to get off the sports shit. It's sad. Damn, man. We mean to make it sad this evening. Just want to talk a little fucking sports as grown man. My fault.
I mean, I don't even watch them like that. I mean, it's like, you know,
I don't watch shit like that.
Yeah.
I work, man.
Right. We working every fucking day, man. You know?
Come on, man.
But I mean, you know, if that's your prerogative, that's your thing. Whatever, man. I got you.
215-216-305-904-443 in the building, Howard County. Indeed.
Yeah.
Love each and every one of y'all, man. We love to support 801. Thank you, baby. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. With that being said, man, have a great night. You're listening to the sounds of Red 609. You can find his music right down below in the second line of the description. Go check him out. Show him some love on Apple tonight. We appreciate each and everybody who listened tonight. You have a great night. Enjoy your Friday night. Don't drink too much, but smoke a lot. And we out of here, man. It's your boy Sam, man, over there. Old God. Peace.
Peace. We out of here.